Acha. Good evening, students. Have you done till ninth question? Till ninth question? Finished? Online? Have you done till ninth question?
Yes, ma'am.
Offline? What happened? Not did? Not did? No. Why? If you won't do, how you'll get doubts? How you will ask me? So let us start 10th question. Okay. It's easy only, no. Till ninth, it's easy only you can do. So why didn't you do? 139. Will you do it today or not? Huh? Chalo, question number 10th. 1 unit of a product A contributes 7 rupees and requires 3 units of raw material and 2 hours of labor, and 1 unit of product B contributes 5 rupees and requires 1 unit of raw material and 1 hour of labor. So availability of raw material at present is 48 units and hence the labor is 40 hours. Okay. So tell me it in a table. So what are the products? Product A, product A, product B. So what they have given? What's the contribution? 7 for A and 5 for B. We'll write like this now. Not A, B, contribution is 7 and 5. Next what they have given? Raw material. How much? 3 units of raw material for A and 1 unit for B. 5 and 1. Next, labor. Okay. So tell me what will be the objective function? So what he is asking? The availability of raw material at present is 48 units and the labor is, raw material is how much? 48 and the labor is 40. So now what we need to do? So he has given the minimum or maximum values for the raw material and labor. So we need to maximize the contribution. So these are the raw material units available and these are the labor hours available. So we need to maximize now what? Contribution. So tell me the objective function. Maximum Z is equal to 7x1. Let us treat this A as x1 and B as x2. So 7x1 plus 5x2. So tell me the constraints, subject to constraint. Tell me first one. 5x1 plus x2 is what? We should take greater than or less than symbol. What he is given? Availability of raw material and labor.
Ma'am,
So
raw material 3 units, not 5. 3 units, ma'am.
you said 5. Someone said 5.
Ma'am,
Okay.
3.
Okay, 3 units. Okay. 3x1 plus x2. So what we should keep, greater than symbol or less than symbol? Tell me. So the total hours are 48 and 48 units are available for raw material, the total units, and 40 hours for labor. So it will be the maximum. It cannot be more than that. It should be less than that only. So it is less than 48. Next, tell me the labor. 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 40, where x1 x2 is greater than or equal to 0. That's all. So it is to formulate the linear programming problem, and in the question he also asked to write its dual. Dual is nothing but, it can also be written as what? Tell me. It is the one option to maximize the contribution and minimize this raw material and labor. Another dual means another phase of writing this question. So tell me how we can write it. We can write from the point of view of raw material also. Objective function, we can take the objective function as the raw material units and the labor hour units. So this is the total units, means we should maximize or minimize? Yes, minimize. So can I erase this? So tell me how to write it. Minimize. Question. Minimize z is equal to, this is objective function. Minimize the raw material 48 x. Let us take this raw material as x and labor as y. Okay. X plus 40 hours of labor as y. So it can also be minimized. Next, tell me subject to constraint. Huh? Tell me. 3x plus 2y or 3x1 x2. Okay, this one also will take as x1 x2 only. Okay. If not y1 y2, in your question they have took as y1 y2, we can also take like that also, not an issue. So tell me, 3x1 plus 2x2, the contribution is 7, but in the question we need to maximize. So what will be, greater than symbol or less than symbol? Greater than. So greater than or equal to 7. Next, 1x x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 5. So x1 comma x2 should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So this is the dual problem. Can I erase? Understood? Online, offline? Everyone? Got it?
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubts? Any doubt? हाँ समझ में नहीं आया? अच्छा अच्छा, you haven't attended the previous classes? Yeah, I have seen you. हाँ So ask your friends, anyone? Okay. Okay, let us do question number 11. Will you do that? It is same as this only, dual problem. Will you do it? Chalo, do it, do it. Do it fast in the class itself. If I'll give you your homework, you are not doing at all. Do it. Chalo, online, do it. Give it. I will explain you once. Give me the pen. Can I? Right here? Okay. So, what the question is telling, actually the linear programming is nothing but it is used, LLP used for optimum product mix. Okay, it is used for optimum production mix. One, if I wanted to produce a finished goods, let us think, nothing will happen, no, if I write on your book, nothing. Actually I wanted to produce a finished good. It need two raw materials it needed. So I don't know how much raw material of A, let us think as A and B, two raw materials is needed. I don't know how much quantity of A is taken and how much quantity to take of B. Okay, in this case I will follow this LLP to mix properly the raw material to produce the finished goods. So this is what LLP means. Okay, now how will at the point of questions, question number 1, see, in the question the chemical company produces two products A and B. So these are the raw materials, sorry, these are the finished goods produced. So to produce A and B, what are the ingredients required? C and D. So how much ingredient of C is required for producing A is 1 unit, to producing B is 2 units, and D 3 and 1. So these total ingredients are, minimum requirement of these ingredients are 80 in case of C. C is required 80 and D is required 75, and this is the cost you have given. So read the question. Chemical company produces two compounds AB. The following table gives the units of ingredients C and D per kg of compound A and B, as well as the minimum requirement of C and D and the cost of A and B. So write the problem mathematically for minimization of the cost. Now in the question he is just telling us to formulate. Whenever the question tells us formulate, we need to do only the equation. So we need not to solve. So now tell me, the minimum requirements are this is the cost. Whenever he is telling us to minimize the cost, so minimize the cost, there will be two steps. First is objective function. Okay, first is objective function. Objective function is nothing but, here the cost always should be minimized. Right here the cost should always be minimized and profit should always be maximized. Okay, so here he is asking us cost. So cost, right? So it should be minimized. Sorry, minimized or minimization. Z is equal to 4x1 plus 6x2. So this A and B should be treated as x1 and x2. So now this is the objective function. Then we have to write subject to constraints. Subject to constraints is nothing but, these are the this is the cost for making this product, but subject to constraints mean subject to the raw material what we have. Okay, we need to put the cost according to the raw material what we have. So what is the raw material? So this is the raw material we have. So tell me how to do now. Tell me the subject to constraints. For C, x1, 1x1 or x1 plus 2x2. So the minimum requirement, minimum it is required 80, but it may be it may require more also. So then we have to put now greater than symbol. Okay, the ingredient C and C is required 1 unit and 2 units for producing A and B, is the minimum requirement is 80, but it may be required sometimes more also, so we need to put greater than symbol. Next one, 3x1 plus 1x2 if more than or equal to 75, and this x1 and x2, if in case we solve the problems, the x1 and x2 amount should be greater than 0. It should never be negative. Negative ka matlab, if it is less than 0, it means it will go into negative. So right, so that's why this is compulsory, you need to write in your exam. X1, whatever the terms x1, x2 or x3, if the question is telling A, B, C, so x1, x2 is more than or equal to 0. So it should never be non-negative, matlab it should never be negative terms, so it always should be more than 0. Okay, this is what the question is. It's simple. Have you done?
मैम सब्जेक्ट टू कॉन्स्टेंट्स के ये समझ में नहीं आया.
Actually this question, it's mistake. Actually the question right in the first step, in the first one, primal, what is that, primary, primal, in primal the first one is there, no, subject to constraint 2x1 plus that is 3x3, it is not x2 because x2 value is not there, it is 3x3. In dual also it is wrong in the second one, in the Q part it is wrong, so correct that also. It is only 2y2 plus 5y3, the 3y1 is not there, just correct that. So have you done or I need to do?
मैम आप कर दीजिए ना.
अच्छा ठीक है. So tell me the table. So what are the raw materials? A, B and C. So P, Q, R. Next, available units. So tell me, what's a P? 2, 3, 8. Tell me, why you are so silent? 3, 2, 2, 5, 4 and 5, 4, 4. This is the profit, I think so. Okay. Okay. So let us think this PQR as x1, x2 and x3. So now what will be the objective function? Huh? Profit. Profit should always be maximized. So now tell me, maximization of Z is equal to 3x1 plus 5x2 plus 4x3. Okay. Now next, subject to constraints. So subject to constraints will be 2x1 plus 3x3 less than or more than? Less than. So what availability is given? Yes, available less than equal to 8. Next one, 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 10. 2x3. Next, 5x2 plus 4x3 is less than or equal to 15. So x1, x2, x3 should be always greater than 0. So this is primal. So let us do the dual. So tell me the dual. Will that be maximization or minimization? Minimization of what? Available units. So tell me 8. Minimization of z is equal to 8x1. Let us take it dual. No, let us take y. Y this xx. So y1 plus 10y2 plus 15y3. Okay. Next, subject to constraint. Subject to constraint will be 2y1 3y3 greater than or equal to 3. Next, 2y2 plus 5y3 is greater than or equal to 5. Next, 3y1 plus
मैम
हाँ
ऊपर 3y2 होगा वो 3y2
अच्छा सॉरी 3y2 ओके प्लस टेल मी 4y3 greater than or equal to 4. So y1 y2 y3 should always be more than 0. Okay, in the question they have solved this, I think so. Yeah, huh? Chalo, let us solve it. This S1 S2 S3 they have put, right? So I will tell you in the next question. Okay, those are just a slack variable. Okay, I will tell you in the next question. Okay, leave that. So how they have solved, let us think this first equation, and this is second, and this is third equation. Solve this 1 and 2. So tell me 2y1 plus no they are solving this primal one. Tell me the first one, what will be the equation in the first primal? Not dual. 2x1 plus 3x3 is 3x3, right? It is wrong in the question, in your book it is wrong, x3 not x3. Okay, it is less than or equal to 8. Next, 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 2 less than or equal to 10. So into 3 into 2 karo. So 3 2s are 6x1 plus 3 3s are 9x3 and 24. 3 2s are 6x1 plus 4x2 plus 4x3 20 minus cancel. So 9 minus 4 it will be 5x2. Sorry. It x3, right? Okay, this is 4x2 and 5x3 and this is 4. Put this as is equal to. It will be confusing if greater than less than symbol will be. So this is the fourth equation. So solve the third and fourth equation. So what's the fourth equation? 4x2 plus 5x3 is more than is equal to 4. And what's the third equation will be? Third equation, what is the third equation from the question? Tell me. I was seeing that one. Five x1 plus 5x2 plus 4x3 is equal to 15, right? So solve it.
मैम इक्वल टू होगा या लेस देन?
हाँ, we can put equal to solve the questions. If greater than or less than symbol is there, so it will be little confusing, right? So you can put it equal to.
Okay.
In case of solving. Solve this and tell me what did you got. And this is into 4 and this is into 5. 20, 25, 20, x2, x3, 16, x3. So it's equal to 5 4s are 20. 4 15s are how much? 45. 60, right? 60. Okay. So how much you will get? 9. 9x3 is equal to 60 minus 26. How much? Huh? 34. So x3 is equal to 34 by 9. I think somewhere we did a mistake.
20 होगा मैम, 5 into 4 20, 26 कहाँ से आया?
कहाँ? अच्छा, this is 20. This is 20. So it will be 40, right? So how much you will get? 9 divided by 40? 40 divided by 9. So x3 is 4.44. So substitute that in any of the equation. So you'll get the another one. Okay, like that only. Actually, here in your book the values are wrong because they have took this x3, and in dual one also in the second one they have took wrong, right? So that's why it's difference. So next question. Question number 12. 4 products A, B, C and D have 5, 7, 3 and 9 profitability respectively. The first type of material, limited supply of 800 kgs is required by A, B, C and D at 4, 3, 8 and 2 kgs respectively per unit. A second type of material has a limited supply of 300 kgs and is for A, B, C, D at 1, 2, 0 and 1 kg per unit. Supply of the other type of material consumed is not limited. So the machine hours available are 500 hours, and the requirement are 8, 5, 0 and 4 hours for A, B, C, D each unit. labor hours are limited to 900 and requirement is 3, 2 and 1, 5 hours for ABC. It's lengthy. So let us write firstly. So what's the type material? First type of material required is how much? A, B, C, D. Tell me. 5. Okay. 4, 3, 8, 2. 4, 3, 8, 2. Second one. 1, 2, 0, 1. 1, 2, 0, 1. Next. What's the machine hours given? Machine hours are 1, 8, 5, 0 and 4. So next, labor hours, right? So the labor hours 3, 2, 1, 5. Okay. So next, what we have missing? Profit. So what's a profit? 5739. So this is what the question is telling us. So we need to, so what we need to maximize? What will be the objective function? Tell me online.
5x1.
Huh? Maximization or minimization?
Maximization.
Maximization. The profit should always be maximized and cost should always be minimized. So maximization function 5x1 plus 7x2 plus 3x3 plus 9x4. You need to write this A, B, C are taking as x1, x2, x3, x4 in the exam. Okay. Next, subject to constraint. Tell me what will be the constraints will be? 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 8x3 plus 2x4. How much availability? First type of 800 kgs. Limited supply of 800 kgs means it is less than, limited only, so it's less than 800. So next one, 1x1 plus 2x2 plus 0 of x3 plus x4 less than or equal to how much? 300. Next, 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 1x3 plus 5x4 is how much? Labor? 900. Next, acha, I have skipped machine. Acha, okay. x1 plus 5x2 plus x3 plus x4 500. So x1, x2, x3, x4 always be greater than or equal to 0. Is that clear, everyone? Next question. Online, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us start 13th question, number 13. So mutual fund has a cash resources of 200 million for investment in diversified portfolio. Table below shows the opportunities available. Their estimated annual yields, risk factor and the term period details. Formulate a linear program model to find the optimal profit that will maximize the return considering the following policy guideline. All the funds available may be invested weighted average period of at least 5 years as planning horizon, weighted average risk factor not to exceed 0.20. So what's the period of weighted average? 5 years, and the risk factor is 0.20. And investment in real estate and speculative stocks to be not more than 25% of monies invested in total. So these are the bank deposits, treasury notes, corporate deposits. So these are given. Okay. Real estate. So these are the investment types. Okay. They are making. So tell me. So let us think that bank deposit, treasury note, corporate deposits, blue chip stock, speculative stock, real estate stock as X1, X2, X3 and X4, X5. Okay. X6 also. So what should be maximized? So here they are telling to find out the optimal portfolio that will maximize the return. Okay. They are telling us to maximize the return. So here how much yield, the annual percentage yield is there, no? So that is the return they are earning from that investments. So it should be maximized. So tell me what will be the objective function? Huh? Maximize or minimize? So maximize Z is equal to, tell me, 9.5 x1 plus, yes, 32.5, okay, 35, okay. The objective of the company is very lengthy. So next tell me, subject to constraint. Subject to constraints, tell me. Here in the first point they are the policy guideline, the following policy guideline. The first one they are telling is all the funds should be invested. All the funds should be invested, matlab x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus x5 plus x6 should be invested, and the factor is how much they are given? They are taking as 1, okay, or we can take as 100% also. Okay, the total investment maybe it should be greater than or equal to 1 or 100% we can take. Okay, and the second point what he is saying, weighted average period of at least 5 years as a planning horizon. Next one, weighted average risk factor should not to exceed 0.20. So tell me, weighted average factors, risk factor how much? 0.02 x1 x2 plus x 0.025, no, 0.25. So it's 0.25 x4. This is 45. Acha, okay. Point x6. So this is the second one. It should be less than or greater than? Less than.
Ma'am,
So this one also will become less than only, actually. हाँ, tell me.
मैम ये लेस देन क्यों हुआ ऊपर वाला?
क्या?
ऊपर वाला सब्जेक्ट टू कॉन्स्टेंट जब फर्स्ट लाइन का है.
First one.
हाँ.
First one, it cannot be more than 100%, right? So the total investments in the mutual funds regarding all those 6, so it cannot be more than 100%. So it should be less than that one, 100%, or it may be 1 unit 1, or it may be 100 units. Let us take 1 unit or 100 unit. It cannot be more than that, so it should be less than.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
If that 6 mutual funds are investing like 100 units, it cannot override these 100 units. Matlab it should be less than these 100 units. So that is what it's telling. Okay, next one, tell me. Next, what they have given? Next, the term period. Tell me 6x1, 4x2, 3x3, 5x4
Plus 3x5
plus
plus 10x6.
what the period I have given? It cannot be more than, matlab more than 5 years, matlab it should be less than 5 years. Okay. Next, when in the question they are giving at least or at most, at least का मतलब क्या है? At least it should be this much, but it may be more than that. So whenever they will give in the question at least, the symbol should be greater than or equal to. Okay, greater than or equal to. When in the question, no, it's less than. Acha, at least. Okay. Acha, I have not seen that. In the previous they are asking. Okay, so it is greater than, it is at least. Whenever the question says at least, the symbol should be more than or equal to. When the question is at most, the symbol should be less than or equal to. Okay, so next, anything they have given? Invest in real estate and speculative stock to be not more than 25% of the monies invested in total. Not more than matlab, which symbol you will get? Yes, less than. So tell me, what will be the real estate and speculative stock variable will be? x5 and x6. So x5 plus x6 should not be, so it should not be more than, matlab it should be less than or equal to 0.25. Okay, clear everyone? Clear? Next question. Linear programming for the product mix decision. What is the slope of objective function? Maximum z is equal to 15x plus 45y. So you can put in that formula, you will get that. It's easy only. Okay. So now next 15th question. Let us treat 15th question. An electronic goods manufacturer has distributors who will accept the shipment of either transistor radio or electronic calculator to stock for Christmas inventory, whereas the radio contributes 10 per unit and the calculator 15 per unit to profits. Both use some of the same components. Each radio requires each unit of diodes and resistors, while each calculator requires 10 diodes and 2 resistors. And radio will take 12 minutes and calculator will take 9.6 minutes. So let us make a table. So tell me what are the finished goods we have? Radio and calculator, right? Okay. Are you getting the question? So tell me what are the finished goods we have? Radio and calculator. So tell me what's a profit? Profit they are contributing 10 and 15. 10 and 15. Next one. Each radio requires each of diodes and resistors. Each of diodes they have given, but the amount they have not. Each radio requires each of diodes. They have not given the units for radio, right? Huh? Each radio requires each unit matlab let us take one unit. Okay, 1 unit and 1 unit. And next, calculator requires I think the table should be like this. Erase this. Radio and calculator. So tell me the profits. We'll write in the last. Tell me the profits. 10, 15. And tell me this resistors and diodes. How much it will take? Radio will take 1 unit of this and 1 unit of this, and calci will take 10 units of this and 2 units of this, and the radio will take 12 minutes and calculator will take 9.6 minutes. Yes. Machine hours. How many minutes? 12 and 9.6. Next. And the production manager estimates that 160 hours of testing time is available. And the firm has, so what's the testing time available? 160. And this how many? 8,000. And this is 3,000. Okay. So this is the right perfect table, I think so. Okay. So tell me what's the objective function will be. So this is, they are telling us to solve. Till now we have did only formulation. Now this question need to be solved. What method we are using till now? What method we are using? Online? Graphical method. So till now we are solving the problems in graphical method, but we are not actually solving, but only we are formulating. Now in this question we are going to solve the question. Chalo, tell me what the objective function? Profit. Profit should always be maximized. So Z is equal to 10x1 plus 15x2. Next, subject to constant. Tell me, subject to constants will be 1x1 plus 10x2. So what is this, greater than or less than? So it's available. So this is the less than or equal to 8000. And next one, 1x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 3000. Next, 12x1 plus 9.6x2 less than or equal to 160. So x1, x2 should be more than or equal to 0. How they are taking this 4? Acha, this units they have thinking as 4, right? Actually we have took 1 unit, but in the question they have not mentioned, so we took as 1. But in the answer they have mentioned as 4. Correct this. Right over there in the question.
मैम ये एज्यूम किया है कि 4 रेडियो कैलकुलेटर 4
कहाँ?
रेडियोस 4 क्वेश्चन में जो 4 आ रहा है जो एज्यूम किया है क्या?
हाँ 4 ये वाला.
हाँ हाँ मैम.
अच्छा, assuming नहीं है. Actually they have not mentioned in the question. When you read the question you will let you know. Once read the question, in the each radio requires is there, no? So read that, you will get you know that they have not given the units, but in the answer they have took as 4. So that's what I'm writing that. Actually I have assumed as 1 unit, but in the answer they have written as 4 units. In the question
मैम
they
यहाँ
have
पे मिस्टेक हो गया था.
yeah mistake, right? In the question also it says 4 units. In case of radio they have not mentioned the units for resistor and the diodes. So in the answer they have mentioned, so that's why I'm writing taking as 4 units. So is that clear everyone? Chalo, let us do now in graphical method. This noise is more disturbing. So the first one, what is the first sub constraint? 4x1 plus 10x2 is more than or equal to 8000. Okay. So now let us draw a box here. So let us take this x1 as 0. Okay. Put that x1 as 0. Suppose x1 and x2. Let us put x1 as 0. So what will be the amount? Let us remove this greater than symbol and put is equal to. Okay. Let us make it is equal to. So tell me the amount. x2 is equal to 8000 divided by 10. How much? 800. So now here the x2 is 800. So now if we put x2 as 0, what will be the x1? Hmm? 2000. Next one, this is the first equation. So tell me the second equation. 4x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 3000. So put same, x1 as 0, 3000 divided by 2, 1500. So next x2 as 0, 750. So next third one, 12x1 plus 9.6 x2 is equal to 160. Tell me. 0 0. Tell me, if we'll put x1 as 0, 160 divided by 9.6, how much you'll get? Huh?
16.67.
इतना मिस्टेक देने से कैसे करेगा? हावर्स को मिनट्स में कन्वर्ट करके ले रही है. अच्छा 160 इंटू 60 मिनट्स. ठीक है, ले लो. But this method is not as given in your book. It's simple. Don't go through your book, but numbers you need, right? So take 9600, whatever question given. But this method is, don't follow your book. It's totally clumsy. You don't even understand single letter also. Okay. Next, tell me 9600 divided by 9.6, 1000. So next, let us take as x2 as 0. 800. So these are the x1 and x2 terms we have. Okay, everyone clear till here?
मैम
Online?
यहाँ पे 9600 ये वाला कैलकुलेशन दिखा दीजिए ना एक बार.
Actually in the question they have given 160, right? Into 60 karo, 60 minutes. This is 160 hours, right? So they are taking in the minutes, I think so.
Okay मैम.
Okay, finished? Clear everyone? You need to put in every equation, you need to assume as x1 as 0 once and x2 as 0 once. Okay, you will get x1 and x2 values. Okay, clear? So put it this, erase, I will erase this. So now we need to point these x1 and x2 in graph. So this is x axis and y axis, right? So like x1 and x2 we can take as x or y also. In x1, x2, x3 we have taken, but we can take x, y, z also. Let us take this x1 and x2. So tell me the point. Here the x1 is 0, point 0, 800. Where you'll get? Let us take this 100, 200, 300, 400. It will take time, right? 500, 1000, 1500, 2000. Let us take like that. It will be easy. So it's 500, 1000, 1500, 2000 and 2500. Here also 500, 1000, 2000, 2500. So tell me now, 0 to 800 where you'll get? Zero to 800, where x1 is 0, x2 is 800, you will get here, right? Next, x1 is 2000, here you will get, right? Okay, so this is 0, 800 and this is 2000, 0. Next, third one, tell me 1500. Next 750, right? 750 in the middle. So like this 0 comma 1500, and this is 0 comma 750 points. Next, 0 comma 1000. नेक्स्ट 0 कमा 800 750 मतलब यहाँ आएगा थोड़ा सा. ओके, सो दिस इज द एरिया विच इज outside the graph. So this is also known as a feasible area or basic area. Okay, or basic area. Okay, so now the intersection point where every point is meeting. So this is the area, right? So this is outward. So this is inward. This is the area where every point is meeting. So what is that point? Tell me. Here what's the point? 0 comma 800, right? Huh? This is a point 0 comma 800, and here 0 comma 750. Acha, 750 comma 0. So the x1 value is 750 and x2 value is 800. Okay, so this is a graphical method. Clear? We need to point these points on the graphic, so we need to know what the area which is intersecting, every point is meeting at that point. Okay, every units are meeting at that point. We need to know this is the area where every variable is meeting, right? So what are the point? 0 to 800 and 750 to 0. So where the x value, x1 is 750 and x2 is 0. Sorry, x2 is 800. Copy it. Don't follow your book, just do by this method only in exam. Completed till here? So you need to put this x1 x2 values in first equation or second equation. Okay, first put x1 value, you will get x2 over there, then after put x2, then you will get x1 again. So you will know the exact radius or calculators accuracy. Okay, finish. Let us continue. Can I? So these are the x1 x2 terms by graph. So now we need to solve the problem. But this is not the exact points, right? We need exact points. So tell me the first equation. 4x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 8000. Second equation, 4x2 plus 2x2 is equal to 3000. So minus values cancel. 8x2 5000. So x2 is equal to 5000 by 8. How much? 625. Next, put this x2 in first equation. 4x1 plus 10 into 625, it is equal to 8000. How much? Tell me the x1 value. Seven. 625 into 10 minus 8000, that divided by 4. 437. 438, right? Make it as 438. So these are the radio and calculator exact accuracy. Clear? But in the question, why we are getting answers different? Because they are solving with the equation 2 and 3, but we are solving with the equation 1 and 2. That's all. You can also solve with equation 2 and 3 also. Okay, but now here we are solving with equation 1 and 2, right? In the question they are solving with equation 2 and 3. Okay, clear? What's the time? It's 3. Any doubt online?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Is that clear? First you need to make the x1 value, x2 value as 0 and point that values on graph, and then make solve equations. Okay, so let us do simplex method. So this is somewhat tough, but I think that मतलब इतना tough questions आपको अभी required नहीं होगा शायद. He just gave simple questions. Final में use होगा. I think they won't ask the questions in the method, in simplex method. Only this graphical method, or they will ask you to formulate bus. But you need to know, right? So tell me the objective function from the question. 16 question. Profit is 5 on each model X and 20 on each model Y. So cleaning test and testing machines both are there. Pay attention for this question, this is somewhat typical. So 2, 6, 4 and 3, and time available 10 and 12. So what's the profit? 5 and 20. So tell me the objective function. Huh? 5x plus 20x2. So subject to constraint. Tell me subject to constant 2x1 plus 4x2 time. Is that time available? So it should be less than 10. 6x2 less than or equal to 12. So x1 comma x2 should be more than or equal to 0. So now let us so this is a quantity. Next, sorry, this will be the base value and this is the quantity, and this is the simplex table. So what are the values we have in the maximization function? 5 plus 20. Here actually the slack variable करके एक variables आता है इसमें, slack variable. What is mean by slack variable? Slack variable means by using that variable your total figure will not affect. Okay, like actually where the paper is like example our paper is for 100 marks, but we have attempted only 80 marks. The remaining 20 marks, will that affect on your 100 marks paper? No, because you have not at all attempted. Okay, we need not to worry about that 20 marks because we have not attempted. Our paper is for 100, but we have not attempted at 20. Okay, it will not affect on our paper because we attempted only 80 marks. We have hope on that only 80. Okay, we need not to worry that 20. So this 20 is slack variable. But whenever we make, while valuing the paper, will take for 100 marks. Okay. Actually, whenever I was thinking about my paper, the paper is for 100 marks, but I have attempted only 80 marks. The remaining 20 will also be added, but it will not affect on your paper. Okay. So because this is a slack variable, by adding this also to your whatever you have attempted, you will get the number, but it will not affect on your questions what you have attempted. Will any marks come from the 20? No, because you have not attempted. But we are adding this 20 to get the value 100. Okay, like that only the slack variable will take a slack variable. Okay, so here we'll take S1, S2 as a slack variable. Will that affect? By putting this S1 and S2, will that time or this variable anything will affect? No, right? So that's why let us put this S1 and S2 as a slack variable. Okay, so plus S1 plus S2. So whatever the value it may be 0, 0 S1, 0 S2. Put like this. Matlab 0 into something is 0 itself. So by adding 0 for this also we'll get 0, nothing. So this value, this variable has no value, but we are adding to our products. Okay, chalo. Next, tell me the values. 5, 2. So this is x1, x2, s1 and s2. This is the ratio. So what's s1 here? 5. Here 20. Here 0 and 0. So tell me the quantities. Quantity, how much? So here the base value. here the base value, here the quantities. So base value is S1 and S2, these are the base values we have taken. Now tell me the quantity 10 and 12, right? This is the time. Quantity का मतलब time. Okay, next. What is this CJ? CJ as 0, S1 का value 0 0 है ना? Now so tell me S1 here first equation का values क्या है? 2, x1 is 2, right, in the first equation. Then 4, x2 is 4, where S1 is, let us take 1. There is nothing before S1, right? So we'll take as 1. Do we have S2 in the first equation? No, so this will be 0. Tell me the second equation. 6, 3, 0 and 1. Okay? Till
Ma'am.
here. हाँ, tell me.
S1 में 1 और S2 में 0 क्यों?
क्योंकि here only S1 we have there. First in the first equation 2x1 plus 4x2 plus S1 is there. S2 is there. No. Only
No.
we have S1. So that why we have took 1 and S2 as 0. In the second equation we have S2. So that's why we have took as 1 and S1 as 0. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? So next Z. So Zj or Z values is equal to this one into this. 0 into 2, 0. 0 into 6. Zj is nothing but this into this. We need to add this. 0 into 2 plus 0 into 6. We'll get 0 itself. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Next, Cj minus Zj. So what is this Cj here? 5 minus 0. Cj का मतलब ये values है ना, ये Cj है. These values are Cj and this values also Cj, but these Cj values are for slack values. These Cj values are for x1 x2 overall this objective function का Cj values है. Okay, so tell me 5 into 0, sorry 5 minus 0, 5, 20 minus 0, 20, 0 minus 0, 0 and 0. Okay, is that clear? That is what in your book it is. Everyone clear? It will be मतलब बहुत confuse होता है. ऐसे tables 3-4 होता है. When our question is like x1, x2, x3, x4, the slack variable will also be s1, s2, s3, s4. So that many tables we need to prepare in the question. How many slack variables are there? So that many tables we need to prepare. So this is a basic table only. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this ratios is not there now for you. Leave that. So this is what they have took in that. Okay. This table they have kept last in your question in your book. Ratios अभी नहीं है क्योंकि ये अभी हम solve नहीं कर रही है ना इसीलिए. ठीक है? Till now is that clear? Tomorrow we'll solve the question one question. Okay? Example question I will tell you tomorrow.